Hello, how are you? If you need to add some physical activity to your daily routine but don't like exercising, you're going to love this video. I'm going to tell you about Japanese walking, a new technique that's very easy to do, has great adherence among those who try it, and brings lots of results for weight loss, metabolism, and health. You're going to love it. I'll explain how to do it and all the benefits. Stick around until the end because you won't want to miss this. Before we start, I want to ask you if you already do any physical exercise. Do you do it thinking about your heart, longevity, weight, or metabolism? What benefit are you aiming for? Is it for your mental health? Because exercise is also very important for that. Or if you don't like exercising, if it's hard to get started and you were looking for some inspiration for something simpler and more relaxed to begin with, but that still brings effective results. If that's the case, this video is a sign for you to pay attention to Japanese walking. Some studies have been conducted and have scientifically confirmed many benefits that it can bring us. This idea of Japanese walking originated in Japan, with researchers concerned about the high rate of physical inactivity among the elderly, and became very popular. We know that as time goes by, we tend to decrease our physical activity, and this has negative impacts on our health. This can lead to weight gain, harm cardiovascular health, increase blood pressure, and make it harder for us to control blood sugar. So doing physical activity even in old age is very important. So the researchers thought about how they could create some kind of physical activity that could be done by older people. I'll just add a side note here. It's not only elderly people who benefit from this walk. No matter your age, it brings metabolic and weight loss benefits, so it ends up being quite interesting. Japanese walking is actually a type of interval training, but at low intensity. Maybe you've already heard of HIIT training, which is high intensity interval training. The walk is of relatively low intensity overall, because you'll have periods of higher intensity, but it's a somewhat moderate intensity and others of very light intensity. Normally, it's done in blocks, following a simple and structured pattern. For 3 minutes, the person walks briskly, not running, but really walking as fast as possible. And then, for the next 3 minutes, walk slowly to calm down, catch their breath, and allow the heart rate to recover. This alternation between effort and relaxation creates that fluctuation in heart rate that stimulates your metabolism and improves circulation. You repeat this for 5 complete cycles, which adds up to about 30 minutes in total. If you do this 5 times a week, you'll already be reaching the minimum recommendation set by the World Health Organization to move out of a sedentary lifestyle. So 3 minutes walking fast, 3 minutes walking slow, then again, 3 minutes walking fast, 3 minutes walking slow. Do this 5 times in a row, and then over time, you'll start to see very beneficial effects on your health. This study that came up with the Japanese walking method and evaluated its effects was able to statistically verify some benefits, such as improved blood pressure control, improved body mass index, which is the weight to height level glucose control, which is super important, the control of blood sugar, aerobic capacity. In other words, improved cardiovascular health. And muscle strength, it improved leg strength, which is also fundamental for older adults because we know that as we age, the risk of muscle loss or sarcopenia increases. Many elderly people start to experience more falls and have difficulty performing even simple movements, going down, getting up, carrying groceries, climbing stairs, getting out of bed. So this walking also helped maintain muscle mass, which is really interesting. Now, another important point is that adherence to this physical exercise intervention was impressive. 95% of the participants managed to stick to the plan. Because these studies are designed to be carried out over a period of time, and usually there are people who stop participating, especially when these are studies that change eating habits or alter lifestyle, like adding physical activity. Then people get tired of it. Oh, I don't want to do this anymore. It's too boring. But in this case, adherence was great. 95% of people kept going because first, they saw it was manageable, right? And second, they started to see the benefits, so they became more motivated to continue with this intervention. Compared to traditional HIIT training, what is the benefit of this Japanese walking method? It often doesn't have those overload effects on our bodies because traditional HIIT training is very high intensity. HIIT training is usually done with people doing jumping jacks, squats, those burpees, where you go into a plank, get up and jump. These are exercises that really push your heart rate goes way up, and sometimes people say, oh, I'm going to put on this workout from YouTube by a fitness professional and do it. People can't keep up because they're not trained, and sometimes they end up hurting their knees, hips, or feet, putting too much strain on their joints. With this Japanese walking method, you don't have those risks because walking is a very accessible, universal exercise, and the intensity is more moderate, right? You don't end up raising your heart rate so much that you can't manage to do the full 30 minutes. So that's also a very interesting point. There was another interesting detail that the study found, something that really caught the researchers' attention. This Japanese walking method proved to be even more effective at regulating blood sugar levels than regular walking. That's fascinating. So, alternating between increasing and decreasing your heart rate is more beneficial for controlling blood sugar, even when compared to protocols with the same duration and the same calorie expenditure. So the metabolic mobilization is different, and if you want to control your blood sugar, this could be interesting. You can give it a try. So who can do this Japanese walking method? Anyone who has been cleared by their doctor to do physical activity can start trying Japanese walking. And as I mentioned, it's a very gentle walk, and you don't necessarily have to do the full 30 minutes on your first day. If you've been very sedentary, not moving much for a long time, start with fewer cycles. Start with 10 minutes, then move up to 15 minutes until you reach the 30 minutes you need. Always use that talk test. During the fast phase, you should be able to say a few words but not carry a full conversation, and you shouldn't feel completely out of breath. Otherwise, it might be too much effort for you, so this ends up being a really good gauge. And of course, if you feel pain, dizziness, or discomfort, always stop, because it might mean this isn't recommended for you. Ideally, before starting any physical activity, especially if you're older or have any health condition, you should always see a doctor and a physical education professional to get better guidance about this. Remember that this video is for informational purposes only. Also, remember to wear proper walking shoes. There are several models that are cheap, affordable, and easy to add to your daily routine. But what I mean is, don't grab those stiff leather shoes to go walking because they'll hurt you and might cause blisters. So at least try to have a pair of athletic shoes so you can do it more comfortably. And wear light, breathable clothing because even though the intensity isn't that high, it's still physical exercise, and this will help you feel more comfortable while working out. Avoid uneven surfaces, especially if you're older. Be careful about falling, watch out for potholes and cobblestones in the street. So look for a flatter place, somewhere you can have more stability and confidence while walking, okay? And another cool tip is to keep a journal or a calendar to check off the days you managed to do it. This will motivate you and help you see the benefits, so I really think it's worth giving it a try. Let me know if you had already heard about this walking technique or if you're going to start trying it. I would love to see your comment. What kind of exercise do you do? Maybe it's not this one, but another type of exercise. I want to know. Tell me in the comments. If you liked the video, leave a like because that way this video can reach other people who, like you, would also enjoy it and it helps more people. Now, if you already know someone who would like this tip, go ahead and share it. Let's work together to expand this chain of kindness because that's what I want here with the channel. See you next time. Bye.